Alright, how's it going, guys? It is Friday, October 2nd. Sorry I didn't post any videos this week. I didn't do anything but load up 3 bales for a guy that had a bunch of mini horses, other than work. So I figured we'd go check out and see how these beans are doing. One crop was planted, 18 acres planted on June 10th, and then I think June 20th for the other 10 acres. We're going to check the little field where I found that rock for my kids and then lost it. That's the field we're going to check first. Now these beans beside me, and I'll show you those, they're the neighbors, you know, or the neighbor of the landowner. They're not my direct neighbor. I know of them anyways. Their beans were planted 2 days prior to my 18 acres, and they look dried down. They were no-tilled. I'm complete conventional tillage. And I'm sure I used the 3.9. Oh, wow. Yeah, I can see my beans across the way. I've still got plenty of green in them. That's crazy. I planted a 3.9. 3.6 to 9 is really typical for my area. Of course, a lot of guys get them in earlier than me. This guy didn't, and his are already dried down. So I don't know what he, what maturity that he chose. I should actually try to find that out, just for my own, experience, to gain some experience, maybe some knowledge, learn something from the guy, because I don't have anybody teaching me. Now, oh yeah, his beans are dried down. Now these beans that I'm about to show you were planted 12 days after the neighbors, and they were 3.5s. So let's go check and see what kind of deer damage or bug damage. They don't look incredibly tall, but at the same time, they were a bush-style bean. So I would venture to say that I'm a little ways off from harvesting. Probably not in the dry spots. You can see, if anybody remembers, there was a strip right here where the beans were cooked pretty bad with the herbicide application. What I am liking is 3 bean pods all the way to the top. I don't know if you can see that. That's good. These beans only received a foliar feed that I use. They kind of use it for tobacco. See the deer damage, just stripped all the leaves off. That's gonna happen. But really, I'm pretty satisfied with them, for what they are. But I use a foliar feed that's typically meant for tobacco, and it's just something extra. It's like I think it's like a triple 10 water soluble. Put like 10 pounds of that to the acre. Just something that usually jumps them up after they get shocked with spray. Oh man, I wish that weed strip wasn't down there. That was going to be my path. Yeah, and these are this guy's beans that he planted no-till. And Bandit Farmer, if you guys watch him, he just did a crop update where he saw a large difference in dry down compared to when comparing moldboard plowing and chisel plowing. So these are no-till, again, somebody else's unknown maturity. They look like a heck of a stand of beans. And then these are mine, conventional tillage, 3.5s. Pods seem to be pretty fat. Again, they're obviously wet, but I don't see any bug damage on the pods. I mean, I see stuff on the leaves, and that's fine, but somebody had told me they seen a mess of stink bugs over in this part of the country, the county, whatever. We don't like that. And, yeah, I had problems with stink bugs in years past. Let me get out here. These are 14-inch rows, so I should be able to get out in them and trample them a bunch and lose all my yield. Just kidding. Walk down a row is what I should be able to do. Looks like I found one. It's probably a sprayer track. Yeah, I did kick one over. Dang that. Yeah, so they are almost waist high. Not the tallest beans I've ever had. If you look at that tan over there, and then that green there, those are my beans too, but not these beans here in the middle. The ones out in the big field should be a taller, because they got a heck of a lot of fertilizer and the foliar feed. And Yeah, overall, I mean, they look good to me. You know, pods are kind of small. No, maybe I'm just, you know, I'm not experienced enough. And I mean, shit, here's a 4-beaner. You know, I'm sure there's, you know, that extra bean really counts. There's only one. It's the first one I've seen. Haven't looked though. There's another 4-beaner. Yeah, but that's what we got. So, I guess I won't bore you too much in this field. But yeah, the difference between conventional tillage and no-till, and I think Bandit Farmer, if you look him up on YouTube, he's a great guy, somebody I know. I met him through YouTube, but he doesn't live too far from me. His chisel plowed beans stayed green longer than his mold board beans. Now my thought is, either way you're cutting the dirt. You're cutting the dirt less with chisel plow, but you're also getting deeper. So maybe that give a chance for some tap roots to bite into a little more moisture. I know I've heard people talk about compaction issues with no-till. Again, I don't know this guy. I mean, he's got nicer equipment. Not brand new stuff, but you know, that's his operation. I won't show it, but he had some really nice wheat. I'm sure he knows what he's doing, you know. So yeah, I guess we'll just get over to the other fields and leave me in the comments if you know anything about, you know, no-till versus mold board versus you know, I call my system a minimal tillage because all I do is disc. Man, that's loaded. What the heck? Probably because there's no bean plants around it. That one is chock-a-block full. Yeah, leave me in the comments, something in the comments if you know anything about difference in dry down or ever noticed anything, or if you have an opinion on it. That's something I would be willing to learn about, for sure. So let's get over to the other property. All right, it's time to educate me. What in the heck is this thing? It's got these big white flowers on it, and all these big old giant. And this son of a bitch stinks to high heaven and back. It smells like you smashed 10 stink bugs or rotten mustard or something like that. Yeah. And there's the triangle that I never planted in. So I did kind of, you know, I expected that triangle to grow in with weeds, whatever, you know. But I didn't expect this. I didn't expect all those stragglers. And I for damn sure didn't expect all those weeds out there. You know, that's why I pay to have somebody spray. I could have done a better job with regular freaking Buccaneer Plus and some damn, and my 20-foot sprayer. You know, I mean, I've never had weeds like this in beans. But anyways, not to complain. This is the same variety we saw in the last field. It would appear that this soil maybe had some more moisture because they were planted on the same day. But there is no dry down. Nothing yet. I mean, they're yellow. But I don't think a single leaf's dropped in this field, which is fine, you know. But these were 3.5s. And these yeller ones, the more yellow ones, were 3.9s, but they were planted 10 days earlier. So I'm going to keep a video record here. It's the 2nd of October. And in 10 days, I'm going to come back and look at these and see if they look like the other field. But let's go check that one out. Again, for anyone that cares, these are STINE ENLIST E3. It's supposed to be 3 different herbicides you can use. And that red plant there, I don't know if you can see the color or not. I'll say, here's one. This is what I was fighting. It is spiny. It's got these spines on it that poke the shit out of you and it sting for a half an hour. This area was pretty heavy. Not gonna lie, it was heavier than this, or wasn't this heavy last year. I've got them even way out over there, probably carried from a combine head. But, yeah. That's what I was fighting, and that is what I used the Enlist for. And apparently it didn't work. You know, this field just got Roundup last year. like it actually got name brand Roundup. This did. When I do spraying myself, I use Buccaneer. But yeah, I'm not impressed with the herbicide by any means. I've got grass in here even. Yeah. So you guys definitely tell me what you think of if you used the Enlist system, and what your thoughts were on it, because I'm not impressed at all. But I'm going to walk out here a ways just to say I did, to get away from the edge of the field and into where the fertilizer. Seems like they're getting taller. I'm going against the grain right now. The way I'm walking, it sucks. And sorry, I probably was just like pointing you wherever. But I am excited to see where those 3 little hills are back there. See if I can zoom in. Yeah, there's a hill there, and a hill there. I'm glad to see I got something to grow pretty good on them. I'm not seeing bare. See, it's a little more tan or brown looking. That's because it's so steep. It loses all the moisture. Yeah, and these are a bush type bean, and they are. It's like walking through a dang net. It's terrible. And that is not. I don't see any weeds here. They're just bushed out. I like tall beans myself. They're easier to cut. You know, but I guess I wanted to get away from all this grass and stuff. There's a old black dog. That's hilarious. You can only see his little tail. But I wanted to get out here and take a look at a plant, you know, like we did at the other field. See what we think. Because I got, and this strip, I've got $1,800 worth of fertilizer. And if you go back to my fertilizer video, I'd say exactly what I put on it. Guess this seems like a good spot. Oh, they're in there. Rip some of these leaves back. I don't think it needs those anymore anyways. They're to the point they just pop off. Yeah, so that's what I got. They're actually more yellow than what the camera's picking up. That's kind of funny. The camera makes my beans look green and my hay look yellow when it's the other way around. Yeah, they're drying. I mean, the leaves are, that one's still attached a little bit. They're starting to pop off here. So, I don't know what we'll get for yield. That plant looked pretty good. I mean, they're in there for sure. These are some awful damn hairy beans, I can tell you that, when compared to the other ones. It wants to focus, maybe. Yeah, they're really hairy. I've never had beans that hairy either. But again, these are the 3.9s, the other ones are the 3.5. Planted 10 days earlier. That's probably why they're yellow, but I would have thought that being the later maturity, they would still be greener. Anyways. I don't know, like I said, you guys tell me what you think of the Enlist, because it doesn't look good to me. These are short. I think this field's even, granted it's starting to dry down a little more, but I think this is even shorter than, you know, the ones that are over there or in the back. Those are the tallest ones, to be honest. But these are the ones that got all the fertilizer. So, yeah, 1,400 there. She's sitting for a backup. You know, it just needs greased and gone, you know, just regular maintenance. Again, I'm seeing the 3-beaners all the way to the top. That's good. I did notice in those neighbors' beans as I was driving out, about the top 10 pods on all of his was 2-beaners. There's a 2-beaner I see. But anyways, it's good to see 3 beans all the way to the top. So, yeah, I got to get the TR70 from Jacob hauled home or driven home or what have you. Especially because these beans are going to be dead and dry before those weeds are. And, you know, I'd like to have the twin rotor and see how that does with all these weeds. But, I mean, you guys tell me what you think of the crop. Does it look like a good crop? Does it not? I'm not impressed with it. To be honest, this reminds me of when I used Pioneer and had I lost money on those beans, lost $814. And what I did on the Pioneer beans was, they were 3.8s. Don't remember the number of bean, like the model number or whatever you'd call it. But I put all the fertilizer down that the land required. I used like a $79 bag of beans, 1 bag per acre. Actually, I planted those at 180,000. I planted these at 140. Everything here is planted at 140, 1 bag per acre. And yeah, that's what these remind me of. They're short, which I knew they were a bush style. Pods look okay. But to be honest, what I like in my seed so far, out of the 3 different types of seed I've used in my 4 years planting beans, is Ruff's 364. Ruff's 364. It's a G1, but it is guaranteed to get you 40 bushels of the acre. I'm sure these are 40 bushels of the acre. I'd like to think they are. I'm sure they're going to be 40 to the acre just by looking at them. I mean, you know, it's like the camera picks up on every little tiny leaf poking out. So you gotta pluck it, and then it'll focus on the beans. You know, I'm sure they're gonna be 40 bushel. You know. Let's do that. Let's go bend a random row back and look at it. Oh yeah. That's not too bad. You know, it sucks though. All the beans are on the damn ground. They're all way down there. So I know the head that came with the 1400 isn't going to like that. Hopefully the head that it's up sitting up there, that came with the TR70 will do better. I'm going to try to do that again. So the rows are clean, except for where the weeds are, I guess. But yeah, that's a bean plant falling over. So there you go. If you watched to the end, I appreciate it. If you like what you see, give me the thumbs up. Wish me luck. I wish you luck in your endeavors. And I wish you a happy harvest if you're a farmer or a gardener or somebody working at a paper mill. It doesn't matter. Let me know what you think if you've got experience with the Enlist. What kind of seed companies you use. What kind of genetics. And your thoughts on dry down when it comes to different tillage systems. Again, I call this a minimal tillage because I only disc. I disc once real heavy and then come over real light. Preferably a week apart, but that never happens. And I guess you'll see me here again at harvest.